Welcome back to Tran Wins Tactics Ogre. For this stronghold, you are only allowed to pick one of these. Even though there's a path for both, once you pick one, you can't just go back and pick the other. We will actually be taking the west curtain wall, so for recording purposes, I will show you what's at the south curtain wall as well, because this is more of an informative playthrough rather than a reactionary one. We have better rewards and better story if we go to the west curtain wall. It doesn't actually impact the plot of the story. All the cutscenes and everything, as far as I know, are the same. It's just there's a more interesting person to fight here, and there's just a regular dude over here. Obtain a buff card, perform an action to restore an ally's HP. Take note of the rewards you get for this. You will get one Dust Orb, which is a $20,000 prize, and an Experience Charm level 3, 5 doses. We're just going to go ahead and bring in our heavy hitters for this moment. We're not too concerned about the outcome of this battle. Like, we're even less concerned than normal, so even if they get in-capped, we're just going to roll with it because I'm just showing you this map. That's all it is.
Thought I'd see you before long, Butcher of Goliath. The Hierophant will smile upon your corpse in the beyond.
Alright, let's take a look at the enemy armada. First off, I only have a few treasures of note. One is here in the middle of this stairwell. Another is next to this knight. And another is on this pedestal. You'll want a flyer for it. As far as loot, there is a lot of loot to be had. The two archers here have similar loot. Peregrine's Mark times 3. I think that's might be a Barton thing, even though they are archers. Peregrine's Mark might be to make Bartons, which is kind of an archer warrior hybrid. This guy here is a cleric. You can hire him, unlike the previous Hawkman light element character. If you defeat him, you could get Hollowing Stones, Blessing Stones, and the Resurrect spell. This witch right here will drop another 3 Magus Marks should you defeat her. She'll also drop a Firestorm 2 if you defeat her. If you recruit her, this is what you get. Instead, you'll get an Avalanche 2. We have... Is there a random enemy? I think there might be some randomization on this map. Oh no, there she is. Okay, I was looking for the witch. I'm looking between two different computers right now, trying to look at my notes. Sorry. So here's an Enchantress, and she drops Thunder Flare 2, which is the lightning version of Avalanche 2. And Spell Charge, which we've seen. It just gives mana to another. Also, she's an Ice Enchantress, if that matters at all. Level 20 as well. Finally, this is our target. Defeating him gets you not only a chance at his carried loot, but you will get an Avalanche 2 drop and some point. If an in-cap happens, that's fine. I just want to show you the map, that's all. It's not part of our storyline. Additionally, bringing Canopus will allow extra dialogue.
Those archers up there trouble me. We'll need to deal with them before making our approach.
Now Vartans, that's what Canopus is as a class. They're okay. Canopus just is really good Vartan because he has phenomenally high stats. Even though I've been feeding Denim all the green tarot cards I've been finding, Canopus still is leagues ahead of him in stats. Which makes sense, considering he's probably level 50 in the March of the Black Queen game. So him reverting back to a level 1 noob in this game is kind of a weird thing. Realistically though, he should be able to just single-handedly kill everybody by this point. But he's been depowered to keep things fair for the player. Well, I am kind of curious to see if the AI will manage to keep Canopus alive. You have never seen me just sort of let a guy get crushed by the enemy. I think it would have been better if you had targeted the witch, so you could silence her. Now, that is Spark Sphere 2. It is not an air spell. But I put that on him so that he can attack enemy weaknesses, if the AI chose to do so. Should we just leave him off? Because I'm not even worried about healing my own guys at this in this hypothetical of a hypothetical. That was some nice damage. Okay, the witch used her action to magic leaf a teammate. Good job, Canopus, on lining up that shot for the Enchantress who just got magic leaf. Yes, hide behind everybody, Mr. Knight.
Stronger than I thought. Where's our reinforcements? Where's Master Nybeth?
AI is doing surprisingly well. And yes, that is an earth spell. He still retains his water magic on him, but one of his 4 spells I've given as earth magic. Oh, dude, you... Sestina needs healing, people. But alright, I'm not intervening. Now, when we go to the Warren report, it will still say 0 incapacitations. The reason for that, for each Warren report, I splice in my actual playthrough, so the kill count will be different than what you see here. Like, the kill count would be phenomenally higher in the AI's case, because they don't recruit, and they just kill everybody before killing the boss, which is not bad. You know, you get more loot this way. But still, to maintain the kill counter, to accurately portray what's going on in the main playthrough, I used that Warren report.
Glory to Barbatos. Glory to Galgastan. Glory.
Bruno Kakarinos, a Galgastani who once served his clan in battle, a gifted magus, as well as scholar of climatology who has worked out of Brigantys castle since the days of Dorgalua's reign, focusing his efforts on understanding the dramatic shift in weather that came to Brigantys region toward the end of the Great War. After spending every day for years analyzing climate records from every reach of Brigantys, Kakarinos found it hard to change his ways. Even when the war separated him from his laboratory, he took to beginning each day by making observations of the dawn sky. Hierophant Babatos' deep understanding of both magical and academic research made Kakarinos one of his staunchest supporters and admirers. He attempted to avenge the Hierophant at the Battle of Brigantys Castle, only to fall to Denham Pavel. Okay, let's backtrack and go to the other side now. So now we're going to go west. Win with an archer in the battle party and win with a dragoon in the battle party. You might remember in the last map, we had a chance to get a grenade. In this case, we get a chance to get an earth charm. I don't currently know of a way to replenish your elemental changing charm, so this is a better sub-objective reward by itself. Canopus does have a line here. Let's go ahead and make sure that we put him in the group. Let's take a look at the enemy armada. Now, while there are 3 lizardmen, and you have access to Balder Axis +1 and Heavy Axis +1, they're both two-handed weapon. I have tested it out. The Heavy Axe does do more damage to these guys. It goes from 86 to this Hoplite, it's the lowest one, to 112 to this Juggernaut that we're using the Heavy Axe. Anti-lizard weapon would do a lot better than it actually did. So now you go with the boring, higher damage weapon. Oh, sorry, I didn't even talk about the rest of the enemy armada. This is the target right here. You can see that he is fire-based. Now, as far as loot goes, there is another ton of loot available. First off, these 2 clerics have a very good chance of dropping a normal blessing stone, and a much smaller chance of dropping hollowing stones. They can even drop them at the same time. They can also drop a resurrect spell. This enchantress will drop Acid Rain 2, which is basically the water version of this, and Petra Burst. Again, these are not spells she's carrying, I know that, but those are the spells she drops. This wizard will drop Tornado 2 and Spell Charge, also a Mana Leaf +2. These Hoplites will drop Foot Soldier marks ×3. This Juggernaut will drop a Juggernaut mark ×3. See, the archers are all normal, and that covers enemy loot. As far as hidden treasure, there's one here between all these trees, one here on this earthen pile next to the sewers or aqueduct, one here under this glacier, one here on this little pedestal on a 3-way block, and there is 2 tiles north of this glacier. And this is the setup we're going with. We're bringing in water and lightning units, plus Canopus since he has a lot of dialogue here.
You're Denham, the Butcher of Goliath, is that what they call you? I could care less about the Hierophant's honor, but you'll pay for Gildora.
I have a good feeling about this one. We'll see how well they do. Pathetic. Looks like cephalopods are on the menu tonight. Really? You did not need to cast that, but alright. You help yourself, AI. Cannabis! Come on, man!
You there, mercenary! Your master's not long for this world. Not much profit in taking orders from a dead man. Surrender!
You're a mercenary from the continent yourself, no? Surely you understand. If I were to change employers at the first sign of trouble, I'd be out of work. Trust's a stronger coin than Goth. I fight to the end, and if you're worth your fee, you will too.
Well, I mean, I am paying him at the grand price of absolutely nothing. And you may say Ronway paid him. Sure, but whose side is he on now? Oh. Didn't know you... Oh, that's a special hoplite ability. I was gonna say, I didn't know you could block finishing blows. So the AI does not take into account the hoplite ability. Hoplites have this chance to just ignore effects. It's basically an auto skill. So it's not like a chance like parry where it passively acts. It happens after they've taken a move or they get the impervious option. Let's see what it's actually called real quick. Evade grants nullify to the caster, allowing them to completely avoid the next physical attack. Note that item effects will also be effective. Range of 3. So if I step 3 tiles away, I should be safe from his future attacks. Denim could take some punishment.
Noble sentiments are piss on the wind when you're rotting in a grave. Surrender now. Surely a life is worth a little trust.
I'd kill you for Gildora's sake, with or without a purse to be had. Her death demands payment in kind, and I will collect.
Gildora, the mage at Caritini. She bore little love for the Wallister.
Ah, don't tell me he'd fallen for the girl. You know we winged folk live thrice long as your kind. I'm not saying love can't bloom between different folk, but it's hard watching your loved one wither away.
You seem to know a bit about the subject.
Aye, a close relation of mine went down that road, for all the good it did him.
Keep your fancies to yourself.
He's got it bad, this one, eh?
Well, it's a status ailment we'll soon remedy. I don't want to be 3 tiles within that critical card, because then he'll get it and hit me.
reunited, Gildura. All too soon.
Dude, you were silenced. You can't give your final words. That's cheating. I didn't pack a Dragoon in this particular battle, but it'll be fine. But that's the reason why I suggested it before we left Coritinae Castle, just to have a Dragoon ready.
Why leave, Master Nybeth? Where have we to go? Let us see this through to its end, our end, if need be. What is our purpose, if not this?
How little you yet understand. We are not here to fight the Wallister. With Hierophant Balbatos gone and the young Lord of Coritinae in their hands, the kingdom will never again rise. It falls to us to make the most of the situation and complete our research. That is our purpose, dear Cressida.
Then let me ask you, as daughter to father, do you not want vengeance for mother and sister? The very man who assaults this castle is their murderer. Forsaking your country is one thing, forsaking kin another. I will not. I cannot.
As stubborn as your sister.
Master Nybeth, why are you yet within? The time for flight is now.
Commander Ronsenbach, it is to my shame you had to witness this.
There is no shame in a daughter so devoted to her people. But Cressida, you must leave here at once with your father.
What? How could you ask this of me? I am full ready to die here by your side, Commander.
Then you are a fool. The lives of me and my men are payment enough today.
No!
His Eminence saw in Master Nybeth's inquiries a light for Galgastan's future. If there's any hope he can claim that prize, the greatest prize, well, then we must devote ourselves to seeing that he complete his work. I do not deny the wrath directed at us by those outside our walls. But you need not bear the burden for that. Complete your research. Prove us worthy of such a boon. Bring joy to Galgastan. Your place is by your father's side, Cressida, for Hector's sake, as well as ours.
But, Commander...
Please, Master Nybeth, go now. Your research shall be our legacy.
I shall consider it my duty above all others.
Godspeed, Cressida. One day, you will tell your own child of the glory and the fall of the great kingdom of Galgastan.
The chariot guide you, Commander.
Are we sure we're not the bad guys here? He was consul to Amorca while it was under Galgastani control. After the fall of Amorca Castle, he fled to Brigantys to continue his necromancy. He took flight with daughter Cressida once more after learning that the Order of Tran was marching on Brigantys Castle. He has not been seen since. After her mother was killed by the Order of Tran, she sought vengeance, and was ordered back to Brigantys Castle by her father. Upon her return, they fled the castle together. She has not been heard of since. I have no idea how to say this next name. I practiced a little bit to make it sound believable, but we'll see. Orjou Mannheim, a mercenary who served the Galgastani forces in battle. Born beyond Valeria's shores, Orjou caught wind of the civil war that erupted in the wake of King Dorgalua's death, and crossed the sea to find work as a sellsword. For it is only in battle that he can make his existence felt, only in battle that he feels truly alive. The winged suffer from low status on Valeria, and it was some time before he found a contract worth serving. He succeeded by building a reputation for himself as a mercenary in small conflicts across the island. The terms of his contract improved to the point that, within the Galgastani forces, his employment soon afforded him pay and treatment on a level with that of an officer. While he loathed the way the mage Gildora looked down upon the winged folk, he still yearned for her recognition. His complicated feelings toward her were doubtlessly part of the reason he did not end his contract even after the fall of Critenai Keep. Hearing of Gildora's fallen battle, he attempted to avenge her at Brigantys Castle, but fell himself to Dano. Win with an archer in the battle party, perform an attack with 100% accuracy, and perform an action to debuff an enemy. Out of those objectives, this is a shiny new toy, the composite bow. Notice that we can also deploy 12 units, so make sure to utilize those extra 2 slots in this battle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the enemy army. I did not find any hidden treasures on the map, but I can discuss what the enemy loot has to offer. First off, these stone golems in front will drop 3 granite marks each, as well as coinage. These cyclops, if you do kill them, will drop various bits of ore. Inferior copper and tin is what I found. The witch will drop Magus Mark, 3 of them, so you could have a total of 9 by this point. Most importantly, she will drop a book, the Biblion Anatomy. The Biblion Anatomy. She also drops Cragfall level 2. However, this is not because she's a witch, it's not because she's level 20, because I have all the stats and stuff to compare them to. So I, in fact, after this match, I compared her to various level 20 witches I created. This character, for whatever reason, has consistently drawn higher stats than others. So in a minute, I'll show off my current version of Stat Finder and we can calculate it together. It's not something I can release right now, because first off, I don't even know half the items in the game. I don't even know half the classes in the game. It's just basically a rough draft. It is not ready for publication. We'll compare this in a minute after we finish talking about everyone else. Alright, we have here a Lightning Wizard. He drops Thunder Flare 2 should you defeat him, but you can also recruit him for the same. If you defeat him, you will get a Magic Leaf plus 2, 3 doses. These clerics in the back will drop Hollowing Stones. Just 1. So 1 each. And finally, the leader himself does not drop these shiny new toys, but at the conclusion of the map, you will get a Fruit of the Seraph, which is a full heal. So that's... Oh, right, I wanted to talk about the witch. Take note of her stats that are currently on the screen. I'm going to be typing those into my spreadsheet. Alright, so we've just put them in. If we take a look at her weapon, she has a sticker, circlet, magus robe, leather gloves, and linen slops. We have a sticker, circlet, magus robes, leather gloves, linen slop. Oh, linen slops with an S. It doesn't register correctly if I don't put the S. And she is a witch. We can see that she has 747 in stats. Why is this witch thing not working? Give me a second. As I said, every time I work on this spreadsheet, I find new things to fix. So she has a rating of 8.2 as a witch. She has 747 stat points and is 102% of a regular level 20 person. So for example, if she were level 19, she'd have 106% of that stat. If she's level 21, she'd be just a little bit... So she's stronger than level 20, but less strong than a level 21. So that percentage basically changes based on my spreadsheet of characters that I've created and looked at for their stats. If you take a look at over here, this material here indicates what her total value would be as that class. So as a warrior, she'd have a 96.4 rating. You're just given some basic calculations. This does not take into account equipment you may have, skills, whatever. It just takes into account her stats and stats only. As an archer, she'd be inferior to that. As a wizard, we can see that she actually scores fairly well because her intelligence is at a base 105. It's fairly high. Rune Fencer and Valkyrie, pretty good, since she's a magic casting sort. So to that effect, she actually does fairly well as a Terror Knight. She is better as a Terror Knight than she is as a warrior. So we can continue to look down here, and we finally get to Witch. She scores the highest as a Witch, and she scores, out of my army, she rates as an 8.2. What does that rating mean? Well, if we kind of glance at the level 20 version of my army, I fed them charms and then wrote down their possible stats. This is what that looks like. It's a bunch of numbers. I don't expect you to make heads or tails of it, but this is their base stats as a warrior. And then once you've deducted their warrior stats or whatever class they are, these are the stats they have after that. So we can see that at level 20, we don't have anybody in the 100 range like she is. We have close, but not quite. Then we scroll further, we have different classes that I've been trying to take notes of. I don't know much about priests yet, because the only priest I had was Kashua, and that may be a Kashua-only class. Warren is an astromancer. The Lancelot, he's a paladin. The two knights, G something, Gildas and Merton or something, those are white knights. So these are classes I don't have information on, that's why they're blank. But things like the warlock, well, if we take a look and sort by warlock or witch, we can see that the highest rating is 7.5, a character named Yuma, which I haven't yet introduced to you. The next highest is a 3.9 Cody. So Cody is our witch, very strong. In fact, I think Yuma is probably my recruited version of this witch. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Stuff like strength is not going to change her much. For example, if I modified Yuma's strength to 100, we'll notice that her stats as a warrior go up. And Yuma, again, is my version of this witch. I recruited her instead of killing her. That means I gave up the opportunity to get a book in order to get a character. But nonetheless, we can see that her rating as a warrior goes up, but her rating as a warlock didn't really change, because how often are you going to send a warlock to go hit someone with your sticker or Sybil's staff or whatever? So that didn't change. We can see her stats here. She is an air wit, so we can see that I have 13 air units right now. Let's take a look at the wizard counterpart. He's a lightning wizard, lightning. And he has the following stats: 86, 100, 89, 93, 87, 111, 104, 105. We're going to copy everything and then change this to wizard, and he's building a Sybil's staff. He has 728 stat points, which is a little bit under the base. I've got a base of 733 as an average for my army, and my army might be a little higher than normal average because that's my army, and I take people above average. So as the game progresses and my average increases, and I'm only recruiting people above them, that threshold will change. This is 99% of my army, essentially. That means he's inferior in stats. He has a 2.1 rating as a wizard, which is okay. It's not great. I think many of my guys might have a 4.0 rating or so forth. But we can see that he has 20 less stat points, which is a big difference. Most stat points are in the 730 range. He's around that stat, but she's 20 points higher. That's why I recruited her. Boring nerd stuff aside, I would suggest recruiting her if you can give up the book. I don't know if the book is something unique. I don't think it is. I assume I can find and buy more in the future. If not, I may have just messed up big time. But I don't know. I wanted a character with more stats. You can have, it's hard to replace those. Imagine how many tarot cards it would be to raise a witch of your own. That'd be more than 20 tarot cards, because not every tarot card gives a point. So yeah, 20 tarot cards versus a book. That's how I saw it. All right, that was a really long time in the talking. Let's go ahead and muster our forces. Should we bring? No, we'll go ahead and bring we'll go ahead and bring the subscriber army. First, we're going to orb them out of existence. Does Canopus have anything to say? I don't think he has anything to say in this match. Let's get some healers out here. Oh, it's Voltaire. Let's get putting out. Tina. Rothschild. We need an archer. What was the enemy again? I think he was air, wasn't he? Yeah, he's air. That means I would like to bring in ice if possible as my archer. So Tyranny Reigns is back at it again. You can see that we're bringing him out often as an archer because we're constantly looking to deal with an air enemy. Now, chances are he still won't hurt Xaebos at all, but at the very least, he is less likely to die outright to Xaebos should he run in the back lines and hit the archer. Opportunity for Denon, not to be confused with Denim. And let's see, should we bring more Heelys? Yeah, why not? All right, full squad. We're heavy on the heels. Even Xaebos is getting impatient.
I was starting to wonder if you'd ever arrive, Denham.
It's over, Xaebos. Throw down your weapons and surrender.
Show some respect when you speak to a High Commander, boy. Defeated or not, if we're going to hell, you're coming with us.
If you wish to recruit the golems, you'll need to use a warlock or witch. If you wish to recruit the cyclops, you'll need to use your beast tamer. Cyclops serve as durable spellcasters. So much damage. murdered. Not who I expected you to hit, because you have 4 targets right next to you. But alright. Maybe it's an elemental thing, or just wanted to finish someone off. It's fine. There's still so many orbs to be thrown around. And all you have to do to get them is sell monsters. Of course, I wouldn't just use them on any fight.
I know why the Duke pursues you.
What do you mean?
He despises you. Ha! Your hands are clean, your words sweet, and your appetite's vast. Why dirty them, when a mob will do the knifeman's work for you in exchange for a few words about justice and ideals?
What?
Ha! Sooner or later, the people will see the Duke for what he is, and come flocking to you. The plebs like a man who's unsullied, while it lasts. You can't keep the blood off those hands forever, boy.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that my denim already is drenched in blood. Basically, I'm looking at people as walking loot bags. I had to decide, did I want to recruit the witch or did I want her book? Which she isn't even carrying as a equipment item. So when you recruit her, you just get a dagger instead. Must be out of orbs. That's fine, they did their job. There's only like 5 enemies left.
The men who betrayed this castle do not but wait. Ha. They wait for someone to come to their rescue, for a savior to descend upon the Isles. Their minds are simple. It is their nature. We're not like them. We can shepherd these docile lambs down the true path.
You lead them to the slaughter. How many innocents have died in your name? Are the differences between Wallister and Galgastani worth so many lives?
If society must be built on the backs of the oppressed, best to be the oppressor, eh? Even a ditch-born bastard in Galgastan can look on you, Wallister, and know his lot could be worse. The fools see the bodies of your dead and feel grateful to be alive.
It's a wretched knight who mocks his own people.
When I was playing through this map on my own, I actually skipped all the cutscenes and dialogue, so it is all new to me. But I will say that if I have to replay any map because someone gets incapacitated during my run, my recorded run, I end up having to sit through the dialogue 3, 4, 5 times. So having the orbs here really helps with that, because this is the first take on this map, and I will say that the first fight with Xaebos had a lot of dialogue I sat through over and over while I tried to wait to see if the AI could ever overcome the enemy. That's why I just brought the orbs. Xaebos can pick up whatever he wants this time. You will get it back. Jeez. Overkill much venom. If you didn't have blood on you before, you definitely have blood everywhere now. I'm gonna take over. Oh, we still have an orb. Here, have it. I had a lot of griffins, if you recall. At least that's where I think these scale orbs came from. If not, it also did have a lot of those Gallo dragons. So I guess air dragons. Get in there. Fill that gap. Now this is also the first time a boss, at least that I've noticed, starts with a full deck of cards. So there's no point in me trying to MP drain him. He's got those two attack cards as well. Which is why I'm trying to pull the Beast Tamers back. Yeah, see, that's a lot better than what had happened earlier. I mean, it's still pretty severe wound, but it's manageable. Nice crit denim.
You think to replace the Duke? Become the savior of your people? A fine irony. That...
There's the Biblion and Anatomy, which you only get if you kill the witch, and the Magus Marks. I gave up all of that in order to recruit that witch. 20 extra stat points. I try to look at it as 20 extra tarot cards. At this point, we have caught up to where I've played in the game. My last upload was Tuesday. I'm recording this on Friday.
We owe you our lives. I suppose thanks are in order. But that begs the question, why? I can't recall the last time a Wallister went out of his way for us. And story was, you were the one behind the massacre at Balma Musa.
I was there, but I had no part in it. I made up my mind to leave the Resistance the moment I learned of their plans for Balma Musa. The Duke repaid me by blaming me for the massacre and placing a price on my head.
Oh.
I knew then who my true foe was. The age-old struggle between Wallister and Galgastani is a lie. Men like the Hierophant and the Duke pit us against each other in their own struggle for power. It is they who deserve our wrath, not you and I.
And as you rise to become a leader of men, tell me, do you never worry that you become the tyrant you replace? What will you do then?
Should it come to that, I am prepared to forfeit my life.
That's youth talking. Still, you seem to believe what you say. That's good enough for me.
I hope to prove your trust well placed.
Dark news, Denham. Cressida has fallen to the Duke.
So, the Resistance has come. I never set out to destroy them. Now here we are. If it means defeating the Duke, if it means bringing peace to Valeria, I fight them only too gladly.
Party level up, level 19 to 22. That means I can now catch up to those 20s I had. And we got the new title, Untarnished Hero. Let's take a look at the title first. Defeated Sir Xaebos, commander of the remnants of the Galgastani army at Brigantys Castle. New talks, there is a couple. Galgastani army annihilated. Brigantys Castle has been liberated by the hero of Goliath, Denham Pavel. High Commander Xaebos was slain in the battle. The Galgastani stragglers who had continued fighting the resistance are now no more. It is not known why Denham Pavel would aid the resistance, who have put a price on his head. Puritane falls to resistance. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's right. We are not the resistance. The Rodway forces are resistance. Resistance forces have captured Puritane Keep in Denham Pavel's absence. Duke Rodway has stated that Pavel will be shown no mercy, despite appearances that he may be seeking to rejoin the resistance. It seems that peace still eludes Puritane. We have High Commander Xaebos. Though he recaptured Cressida Keep for a time, he was defeated by the Order of Tran. He barricaded himself inside Brigantys Castle, but was eventually slain in a battle against Denham. And that looks like it. Okay. So at this point, we've caught up to where I am in the gameplay. I'm going to edit these out and release them on Saturday and Sunday, ASAP. I'd be grateful if you would choose to leave a like and a comment and share this video with others. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. I'll see you next time.